Hey everybody, another day in the shop here, and it's been quite a while since I've gotten to bring you guys up to speed on everything, show you the current status of the build, and also share with you some future things that we're going to be getting and doing. So I'm going to turn this camera around, and I guess we'll get started on showing you what's new on the car. Okay, well, as you can see here, I have all the oil pan pretty much welded up, and I had good penetration all the way through, so I'm pretty happy with the welds, even though they are a little ugly. Once I put the powder coat on, I don't think it'll look too bad. But boxed out everything. This I had to take extra care in this particular area because of the bungs actually go here for the oil remote oil filter, and they don't allow a whole lot of room for this, so I had to be very careful on how much room I can afford in here as far as access. I don't want that to be able to, I want it to be able to take it on and off with ease. So anyway, you can see I was able to retain all the baffle doors. This I had to add because this on the original, I don't know if you remember on the original oil pan, but the original oil pan stopped right here, and I've since opened all of this up. But I had to block this off so that I can make this, in my opinion, work as it should. I don't know if that was necessary or not, but that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You can see there's some things I need to clean up yet. Like this was a hole that I had to weld in, so I can clean that up a little bit with the grinder. I think there's another little hole that I have to weld right here, and then I have to weld the bungs on. And as soon as I get those bungs done, then I should be able to get that over to powder coat, and it'll be done. I still have to work on the pickup tube yet, so I have to shorten that 2 inches. I think I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to do that. So once I get to that bridge and cross it, then I'll show you guys what I came up with. Moving on. Okay. Got these wheels on. I showed you guys that a long time ago. Got the steering link, and then I got the drag link. I think I mentioned those before. I'm not sure, but these are the right size ones. Moving back here, I was working on some suspension geometry. So this is the arm that will go here, and it will line up with the middle of that. So it's got to be cut down, and then we'll stick a heim joint like that in the end of this, and that will attach right here. So on this side is a little easier to understand, but it'll come off of here and go straight to this. So all I got to do is cut those down and then tap them, and then I think we should be good on our rear suspension. I think it's just a matter of sorting out some fasteners and doing this, welding this in. This is just going to be a side-to-side brace. I got to put spacers in here. I think I'm going to try to do something with polyurethane. If not, probably just like an aluminum like shock spacers or something. So we'll figure that out. But this is big. This is done. This is the, sorry about my hand getting in there. This is what we call a wishbone. So this will be able to adjust your pinion angle. Then you can also make adjustments with this to center it one way or the other. It is pretty well measured side to side, and so it's 6 inches off of here, 6 inches off of here, and I figured that was probably the best geometry. I did some figuring and stuff, and it's basically the best measurements that I can come up with. that also looked right. So these are mounted this way because I think these heim joints will have plenty of enough articulation as far as going like this over here. So if we have enough of that, great. If not, I could switch to a like a clamp that will come down and it'll lower it and all that jazz. Cross that bridge if we have to. But yeah, so this these were like my first welds with that, like my actual. I was doing some scraps and then I switched to this, and I actually think it came out okay. It's not pretty, but it penetrated really well on both sides. My fitment was really good, so that went well for me. You could see I brought this weld up a little higher than this one. It's just, you know, I got a little carried away. But anyway, these were the next day, and I think they started to look a little bit better. So for my first welds, I'm happy. TIG welds, that is. Also, I did the bungs on these, which I think came out pretty nice, especially for, like I said, my first TIG welds. So not bad. Still got stuff to work on. I know it's not perfect by any means, but it's good enough for now. Something big, something great. I was looking for a body for the side, the hood, the front nose cone, the dash, and I have everything else on the bottom. So I'll be working with what I got for that. And I asked some companies, or asked some people about, you know, what companies I should look at. 717 Innovations came, well, that was recommended by multiple people. Bill Smith, he is awesome. Got in touch with him. We were going to make a deal on a blemished fiberglass one. And so I walked in, I was like, how much do you have any blemished carbon fiber ones? He did, and then I told him what I was doing with the project, and he fell in love with it, and so he cut me a really good deal on a full carbon fiber body. You know, his stuff is second to none in terms of quality. Small businessman, you know, a racer. His wife is a sprint car driver, so really appreciative of him doing that. And there are many other people that will be mentioned once you start seeing their stuff. Trying to keep all those guys in the loop as I'm going here, and give everybody credit where credit's due, because this has been an undertaking on a lot of people's part. So I'm very appreciative of that. But without without people supporting you in these things, then they're just not possible. So anyway, a couple more things I got to do is I got to reinforce the radiator. I got to measure for rear axles because when you just buy the housing, you don't get axles with it, and I think that's a little crazy, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, so once I get those measured and everything, we can finalize the suspension, and then we can also get the drive shaft made. I know I've been talking about that for a while, but I don't really think we're at a point where it's safe to measure for it yet. I think we're super close though. Rear wheels, I think, are on order. I hope. I got to check on them, but I've ordered them, and I'm just hoping that they're going to be coming in here pretty soon. Got to do some plumbing, modify the wing. I got to get in touch with the wing manufacturer, see if we can get some custom parts. But just hammering things out one at a time. And so you can see I've just been concentrating on the rear suspension and the oil pan. Once I get the other parts, like I said, for I'll just get them. I'll start working on them as I get them. I got the alternator coming in, and then I also have the alternator wiring for the ECU done. That literally was just plugging in 2 plugs because I had to order the harness. I'll probably cut that down because it's quite long. And then they just plugged in right there. So that's the outputs and the power tap. And then there is a resistor in here somewhere. Then after that, I just run a 4-gauge wire to the starter, and then I'm done with the wiring as far as the alternator goes. I will have to weld on mounts for the alternator to make it work with this. But now that I'm TIG welding, I don't think that's going to be a big issue. But this is the rig I got. It's a Weld Pro. I actually thought I had ordered a ATP. And the ATP, I think it's called ATP, it was the same exact color as this. And they said I can get this one sooner. And not thinking about, that it was a different product, I clicked, buy. So I got the Weld Pro instead of the other one, and I was like, oh man. But this one was in my top 3 of who I was going to choose anyway, and it turns out I love it. So I'm absolutely in love with this welder because I get to do exactly what I need to do, no more, no less. Well, maybe more. I mean, we'll see. But anyway, went and got this cart at Harbor Freight, and yeah, it's been working great. Got this little this table to help me out too. It's a fold-away deal, so that's perfect for this shop. The shop is a mess, and it's because I've been so busy on both work and with the race car build. So I'm definitely going to have to go through and clean all that up and try to get everything organized for the race car so I can get even more of a clear picture of what needs to be done. But anyway, I've held you guys up, and I hope you enjoyed this. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.